If you're smart but your finances aren't, then you're probably suffering from analysis paralysis, where you get stuck researching instead of doing. Now, my job used to be about building systems that work on autopilot, so today I'm going to build one for you. The first thing is core principle, something called satisficing, and we want to do that over maximizing. But very first, we have to start with mindset. And this isn't going to be some fluffy internet guru crap. I'm not trying to sell you courses just by exuding confidence. But really, personal finance in theory is very simple, exceedingly simple even. But in practice, not wanting to do this, not wanting to do that, actually makes it very difficult. Now, specifically for you, we want to avoid waiting for the perfect strategy or the perfect investment, which is called maximizing, but it serves no one if you take no action. So instead, let's actually employ a concept from Nobel laureate Herbert Simon. It's called satisficing, and it just means to use a solution that is good enough to meet your criteria, rather than exhausting yourself to find the perfect one. And this is where my mouth gets tired from repeating for the millionth time. Low-cost index funds. I know. It's not exciting and it won't make you feel like a wolf of Wall Street. But that is the entire point. The step we're on right now is to get you results. And then, with those results, then you can use it for something exciting. But index funds, think of them not as some boring old strategy, but as the financial equivalent of a fundamental law of physics. Take carpenters, for example. They don't sit around arguing with gravity, right? What they do is that they build with it. Now, the relentless compounding growth of the global economy is that gravity. An index fund is just the machine that harnesses it without you having to lift a finger. Choosing it today is basically just acknowledging a proven law of wealth creation. For instance, I personally invest a lot into VOO and QQQ, just to help you get started. And remember that your wealth roadmap, it doesn't need to be a masterpiece. It just needs to exist and not be stupid. Which brings us on to the second point, which is your psychological foundation, your why in cash flow. Before we touch any single investment, we need to diagnose something. Basically, what you need is a why you're doing this. It can't be a vague, I want to be rich, but rather a specific and emotional goal. Like, I want to never have to worry about a car repair ever again. Or I want to work because I want to, not because I have to. And then once you come up with your why, make this your anchor. And after we have all that good stuff, we track cash flow. And if you aren't doing this already, just go ahead and start with just one single month where you track every dollar in and every dollar out. There's several ways you can do this. Either actually save every single one of your receipts from all your purchases. If you use credit cards, then at the end of the month, you usually get a statement which will show you how much you spent. I don't know your personal relationship with credit cards. Now, you should probably stay away from them if they cause you to overspend. But personally, almost 100% of my purchases are done on credit, which makes it very easy for me to see how much I spend. And this is the cash outflow. And on the income side, which is your cash inflow, usually it's just going to be your salary or your wages from your 9 to 5, and then you want to include any income from part-time jobs or side gig jobs as well. This step is not to guilt you, but rather to gather data and intelligence. And don't be mistaken, this is not a budget. It's a strategic allocation plan, because a budget is just telling your money where to go, instead of wondering where it went. Because you can't manage what you don't measure or what you don't track. So for this step, you can use a simple app, you can use Excel, you can use Google Sheets, heck, even pen and paper if that works for you. Once we wrap up with 2, then we move on to 3, which is the architecture. We have a 3-bucket system. So let's get into the meat of this. What you see on the screen here is a structure. We are building 3 separate accounts. They're not just simply imaginary mental buckets. Rather, they're actual buckets and made at different banks. The separation of purpose is actually very important. So you're going to have bucket 1, which is operations, your checking account. Consider this your command center, where your paycheck is direct deposited here. It's only job is to automatically distribute cash to the other two buckets and pay your bills. It should hold roughly 1 month's worth of expenses, no more, and obviously not less. Bucket 2, security, a high yield savings account. This is your emergency fund. You're going to open this at a separate bank, like let's say Ally or Marcus, to get a higher yield and create friction against spending it. I personally use Marcus, which is called Marcus by Goldman Sachs. And if you can find someone to refer you, you get something like 0.5% of extra interest for the next 3 months. So I really recommend that. If you can't find anyone to give you a referral, just let me know in the comments and I can send one. Now, the goal here is to have 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses. And this money is for true emergencies like job loss, medical deductibles, major car failure. It's not for a vacation. It's not for a new TV. It's not even for Christmas. This bucket's primary function is to make it so a crisis is just a mere inconvenience and not a catastrophe. And then we have bucket 3, freedom, brokerage and retirement accounts. This is the engine of your financial independence, and all remaining capital flows here after operations and security are funded. This is going to be your primary weapon to really supercharge your wealth. Then we have 4, the engine room, and investing for just good enough. The thing we talked about, analysis paralysis. This is where analysis paralysis hits the hardest. When your brain uses the trap card analysis paralysis, we play the efficient market hypothesis card. Now don't tune out from that little bit of nerdiness, but the simplistic takeaway is this. It is incredibly difficult to consistently beat the market because all known information is already priced in stocks. Therefore, we don't try to outsmart it, we own the entire market instead. We do this through low-cost, broad market index funds, or ETFs. Some that we've discussed are VOO and QQQ. So here's an action plan in actual steps. Number 1, go ahead and fill up your tax advantage accounts first. So max out your 401k match instantly because this is a 100% return because your employer is offering that to you. And if you don't, you'll never see it again. Then consider maxing out a traditional or Roth IRA or combination of the two, depending on whether the tax later versus tax now format works better for you. Number 2, then we have the simple portfolio. For 99% of people, a 3-fund portfolio is pretty much all you need. You have a US total stock market index fund, let's say VTSAX or VTI, or even something that just tracks the S&P 500. Then international stock market fund, VTIAX, VXUS, or a US bond market index fund, so VBTLX or BND. And 3, last for this section, set and forget it. Automate contributions from your operations bucket every single pay period. You buy whether the market is down, up, or sideways. And this is called dollar cost averaging. And it's going to be your best friend, outside of your wife or husband, of course. Number 5, maintenance protocol, quarterly reviews. This you don't have to check every single day. You don't have to check every single week. You will conduct a brief 15-minute quarterly review. The 3 steps here is number 1, to rebalance. If your portfolio has drifted more than 5% from your target allocation, then you should buy or sell to get back to it. This is going to force you to buy low and sell high systematically. Number 2, check your cash flow. Is your automated system still working? Do any contributions need adjusting? Step 3, that's it. Then you log out and then you go and live your life. So in closing, this plan is not about getting rich quick. If that's what you were hoping for, well, you probably shouldn't have watched this video, and I guess it's too late now. But this method is about building a system, robust and automatic, so that your money grows while you sleep, while you work, and while you live life. If you haven't clicked off yet, you are a smart person. Stop overcomplicating things and start building. Thank you for watching.